Welcome to the first edition of Nahar Jeeto Bookathon, presented in association with the Raisoni Foundation. In this session, we explore about the book Gift of Giving, Manifesting Rich Dad Robert Kiyosaki Through Great Dad Lessons. In the book Gift of Giving, Manifesting Rich Dad Robert Kiyosaki Through Great Dad Lessons, the author shares her magical journey of how a simple gift-giving lesson from her father, Great Dad, led her to meet Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, the famous author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. She explains how Kiyosaki's book changed her outlook on life and how she dreamed of meeting him, which happened in a very magical way. Kiyosaki's teaching became guiding principles in her life, aligning with her thoughts and values. The book details the 6-day event where she met her life guru and became his good friend, including her candid conversation with Robert Kiyosaki, serving as proof that miracles can happen and dreams do come true. The best part of the book is that she has decoded her manifestation story in great detail. Being an engineer, she encapsulates her story in a mathematical equation. Law of manifestation, that is attraction, plus law of gratitude, that is giving, is equals to law of abundance, that is receiving. Our speaker for today, Karishma Babulal, is an engineer, IT professional, badminton player, and fitness enthusiast. A magical and transformative meeting with Robert Kiyosaki inspired her to leave her job and made her author of her first book, Gift of Giving. Her biggest inspiration is her father. Our moderator for today, Rishabh Kumar Savansukha, is a CA and tax and management consultant with 25 years of experience in diverse sectors including Maharatna PSU, Fortune 100 MNCs, multi-state cooperatives, unicorn startups, and leading NPOs. He specializes in networking, taxation, mergers and acquisitions, due diligence, digital evangelism, and brand strategy. Rishabh aims to create 10,000 food entrepreneurs and has a proven track record with companies like Indian Oil, Scumblurger, Coca-Cola, Oracle, and Snapdeal. He is also the founder of Clouda Car, GST Street, and Biz Street Consulting, and serving as Chief Secretary of JBN and Chairman of the Jito Center for Excellence. I would like to hand over the session to our moderator.
Welcome, Karishma Babulal, in this session, and we are going to understand the law of manifestation, the law of gratitude, and the law of abundance, all three laws in her own way from the author herself. So, welcome, Karishma, to Naharjito Bookathon.
Thank you so much for the beautiful introduction, and thank you, Jito, Nahar Jito Bookathon, for making me part of this prestigious authors 108 authors group, where you've taken a great initiative of promoting book reading and doing with 108 authors. And I'm very privileged to be part of it, as this is my very first book, Gift of Giving. And of course it has a big name with it, but the manifestation is something we all do. So I'm really glad I will be talking about my book. So thank you for having me here.
Karishma, I would like to know, all our book lovers, that what inspired you to write this book, little bit about your personal background and the overall theme which you have incorporated in the chapters of this your book.
So yes, writing a book was always a dream. I never knew that I will be doing it very soon in my life. So what happened is, well, one magical experience made me an author. So the book has come out just because my magical meeting of with Robert Kiyosaki, who's the author of the legendary book Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is still being sold, and people are reading and benefiting from the book. So I'm a very big fan of Robert Kiyosaki. So once I came to know that he's coming to India, so I had manifested before, like when I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, I badly wanted to meet him, because I wanted to thank him for the mind shift I that had occurred in while reading the book. And not only Rich Dad Poor Dad, all of his books, Cash Flow Quadrant, 21 Business Century, and I used to listen to his podcast. So I was very influenced, and his teachings has impacted me in a very profound way. So for me, he's my guru. So I was badly wanting, after my father expired, I wanted to meet my guru. I was looking for a mentor. So when I read the Rich Dad Poor Dad book, I found my mentor. So I was willing to, meet him and, thank him for for his teachings. So one day I see the ad that he's coming to India, and I thought, I manifested it, and I was planning to go to America. But he himself, came here within 3 years of me reading Rich Dad Poor Dad. And so it was a beautiful meet, and how the lesson learned from my father, made this experience even magical. So that's why, writing a book was a dream. So my second dream was again fulfilled in the same event which I met him in the event which has happened in Mumbai. So from there on it started.
What is the secret behind gift of giving? Because giving has got a lot of meaning, and you have an incident of giving with him, and you also have a lot of manifestation wherein you said that gratitude, giving, law of attraction. So, how this book can help the book lovers when they read this book, your book, how they are going to help the book reader in terms of simplifying or maybe sharpening their manifestation like you did?
Very good question. Thing is, manifestation got completed when I saw him. He's coming to India, and I'm going to meet him. I bought the ticket, and I was very sure that I'm going to meet him. But how the giving, like when you're asking me this, how do I define this giving, which law of gratitude? Thing is, I have learned from my father. After he expired, I saw things coming to us, like he's done small deeds to people who will not be benefit, like he will not have anything to do and anything to benefit out of it, and he's given, for example, I've talked about in the book two examples of my father being very gentleman and being very kind to the people who's around him, not only the people to the family, but people who are working under him, to people who are the grocery vendor, you mean to say. So he's been kind to everyone around him. So by what, by just giving some or the other things with very pure intentions, and not any intentions of expecting out of anything, like whatever he's giving. So thing is, when I got to know that Robert Kiyosaki is going to come to India, I wanted to show gratitude, because he's from his teachings, whatever we have learned, I felt whatever if I'll give him, it will be nothing for me, because the mind shift that he's created in millions of people, they will be forever grateful to Robert Kiyosaki. So so I just wanted to show a gesture of love, that I wanted to gift him something where he will be able to keep with him forever, and never, throw the gift away, or nobody throws the gift, but that should not be, being away from him, it has to be with him forever. So I was thinking, what should I give? So that time my father came in my this thing, that my father was very good with intentional, thoughtful gifts, and it's not sake of just giving, people just give gifts with for the sake of just giving. Okay, somebody's coming, I should gift him something. No, but if you give with some intention and with some thoughts and some, you know thinking about the other person receiving it and what he likes and what he wants. So in that perspective, I gave him a gift, a customized gift, where I made a silver cup pendant, because he always talks about gold, silver, and Bitcoin. So I encapsulated a pendant that is made up of silver. I asked a friend who happens to make customized gifts. So I told him to get me a gift. Like, I sat with him, I discussed that I want to curate his teachings in the gift, and it should be in silver, because he's a real man, so I wanted to gift him something very real. So yeah, so the gift happened to be so much magical to him, that when I gifted him, he was in tears. He was very touched with the gift. And mostly because, I don't know the word integrity, he used the word integrity a lot when he saw the gift. So it touched him, and he said that the integrity behind the gift, and the Bitcoin, which is so he's a very money guy. He talks about what's in uh, current this thing, like Bitcoin is people's money and gold silver is God's money. So, and Rich Dad Poor Dad is a very is a book which is very real, and no, we are not being taught in schools how money works, but Robert sir has talked about money in a very simple way, and where everybody will be able to understand, where school doesn't teach us. And it's so he's the one who's taught us money. So for me, he's the real man, he's the gold man for me. So that's why I gifted him. And that day became very magical because he was very touched. He called me, like, not even once, twice, he called me thrice. And it was a surprise. He called me on stage, and in front of 5,000 people, he told me to come, like, asked me, like, how did I come up with the idea. So this is the idea that I came up with, because I just wanted to show gratitude. So when you are very when you want to be thankful, or want to show your gratitude, you receive. I feel giving is receiving is what I learned from my father. So that's what has made this experience very magical, because manifestation happened, law of attraction happened when I saw the ad, and I immediately booked the ticket and went. I knew I'll be meeting him. But how it how it became very beautiful and magical is because of giving the gift. So hence the name Gift of Giving.
So
uh,
this book, Gift of Giving, you started writing this book after meeting him, or your manuscript was already ready and when you met that the book came out? Like what was when this journey of writing this book and the research and what we should write all started after meeting or it was before meeting?
no, I'm an engineer, and I was working a 9 to 5 job, and I was working in Wipro. So definitely writing was not anywhere in my mind that time. Thing was, I had decided I will do something after meeting him. I will do something new, something which will, you know, uh, something which I have not done, and which will take a lot of courage to do. So I never knew I will be writing or something. But thing is, first day when I met Robert Kiyosaki, he was very happy. The event had it was a 6 day event. So first day when I met him, so meeting him was also not very easy. 100 of people were around. So much of security was there. Somehow I was very lucky to call upon sir. I want to meet. I want to come to you. And he only called me. Okay, come. Otherwise, if I would have taken anyone's permission, I was not allowed to go near him. But somehow universe was had us planned. So when I went to him, and so obviously when he was talking to me, he told me how I came up with the idea and the gift. He was talking to me. So I was in the limelight. Everybody was seeing me, like, who is this girl, and why Robert Kiyosaki is, talking to her. And from very far away, after I gave the gift, he was still, his eyes were still on me. He was still thanking me from very far away, doing this, you are my something he was telling by word, not by words, but with his eyes. So that was very touching. And so people started coming to I went without knowing anyone. I was alone. I didn't know anyone. There were more than 200 people in the first day, but I didn't know anyone. I just knew Robert Kiyosaki and me. Just that's it. That I have to meet him, nothing else. But immediately when I came in the limelight, everybody started knowing me, started coming and talking to me. So what happened is, once I gave him the gift, the session was over. When I went for the dinner, a publisher, I happened to interact with a publisher, because we were networking. Obviously these events are for networking. So the publisher, when we said a hi hello happened, so he told me that, Karishma, so I had spoken because Robert Kiyosaki had called me and he asked me to speak. So I think he sensed it, that there was something in me, some writing skill in me, or something to share. And so the publisher, picked up inside me, okay, there's something in me which can write, and which has a story to tell to the audience, to the people. So he told me, Karishma, you should write a book. We didn't plan that we will be writing on, because it was just first day. first day of meeting Robert Kiyosaki. So I was not planning even writing about Robert Kiyosaki or anything, but that moment was such magical moment that I literally said on the podium that अगर आज मुझे कोई बोले ना कि आपको आपका हो गया, like भगवान मुझे बुला ले, तो आई एम रेडी टू गो, इवन आई सेड दैट I don't want anything in the world because I was able to make him happy. I felt I have achieved everything. So I was like, mera ho gaya hai, like I am done and God can call me. Like I said this actually. So that was that moment. You understand that moment when
Yeah,
you see your guru and it's like you are nothing, you become nothing. That nothingness is such a moment where it can make you do anything.
right.
So I was ready to do anything. So when he said you should write a book, I said yes, because it was a dream again. So एक dream fulfill हुआ था was meeting Robert Kiyosaki. So second dream was on the way. So how could I said a no? So I
So,
just said yes, and I just started my
so
journey of.
basically, now coming back to the book, I think I understand it was a moment of truth, moment of, touching the something which you manifested for a long time, being a, big fan of him. So now, as a book author, since the second offer also came on the same week by the publisher, and you decided to write the book, now you have written a book. Now I want to know that in this book, if as a layman, if I have to read this book, what is your message, the most powerful, most impactful message you want to give to the book reader before he start reading the book, and how he or she should read this book so that he can connect with the same kind of a passion with which you wrote this book?
With this book, I think I got the freedom. So this was a biggest dream of meeting Robert Kiyosaki. People dream of having a big car, having a big house. People manifest all these things. For me, it was meeting Robert Kiyosaki. So I was talking to God. I was praying to God. I want to meet. So I saw that my dream got fulfilled, and I didn't know that it would be so beautiful. So manifestation is very beautiful when it manifests. I have heard somewhere when things happen. So for me is you should dream big. You should dream big in life, and dreams do come true. So for me, it's not one dream. There are three dreams that came true in the same event. So for me, the very core of my book will be learning from my book would be dream big, because dreams do come true. And yes, manifestation is real and it works.
How have you defined the process in the book? Like, is there any process you have defined? Is there any methodology you have mentioned? Like, what is this? How somebody who don't know about that event, but if he or she read your book, how it is going to help?
Yeah, so a famous quote from Benjamin Franklin, he says that uh, write things worth write things worth reading, do and do things worth writing. So for me, it was that. So thing is, uh, sorry, I forgot your question.
No,
Sorry.
my question was very simple that, if I am a reader of your book, Gift of Giving, and I know a little bit about, Mr. Robert Kiyosaki, who is on the book cover, but now I want to know inside the book, how am I going to sharpen my own skills, my own manifestation, whether it's a big
Okay.
car or a big house or a big income or a big success.
Correct.
Everybody want big success, big happiness, but very few people get it actually. So what are the bottlenecks? What are the challenges? Is there anything inside the book which you want to highlight that in this chapter one should get this, or in that chapter one should get that, whatever?
Yes, yes. So you were asking the process, for
Yeah.
manifestation. Yeah, correct. So I have explained so that's what has happened. Like I was also very surprised, as like, is this possible? Is this even happened? I was not, able to digest. So I had to sit with myself, because I was consuming, absorbing everything, enjoying inside. So I was in that mode. So when I started understanding, I had read one book, Start with Why, Simon Sinek ka Start with Why. So I connected, like I decoded with his, you should know your why, how, and what. He says that. So this manifestation ka jo journey hai, I have explained with golden circle ke, people say ke मेरे को आज पैसा चाहिए तो थोड़ी ऐसा नहीं होता है कि you will get it, so the process is you need to be very authentic with yourself. You people do a lot of to use a lot of tools and ye wo, so they get misled on those aspects. But मुझे लगता है for me authenticity had worked well. When it people will ask me what is manifestation for you, I will answer authenticity. You need to be very authentic. You should know what you want. You should have to go within. What you want, who you are, and what drives you. So for me, the why was very clear because Robert Kiyosaki, I wanted a mentor like him in my life. So my why was very clear. So that's why I was praying to God. So the how was I was living Rich Dad Poor Dad. When I read his book, मुझे I so he, the his famous EBSI quadrant which he talks about, I
Yeah.
was living that. I was doing it with people. Like I used to meet when I read the book. After reading the book, I started categorizing people whoever I used to interact with. So what kind of mindset he is. So Rich Dad Poor Dad with jo EBSI quadrant he's talking is such a weapon, I would say, where it is useful to uh, human psychology. You come to know human psychology and their mindset. Rich Dad Poor Dad is not a money, doesn't talks only about money. It's about mindset. Robert Kiyosaki talks about mindset more than money, I feel. But people think that he is a money guy. It's about my mindset. So that EBSI quadrant, I was following that every day with everyone I used to interact. So I was living it. So you say, like you need to be in that frequency. So ultimately I was living that. So I was in that, mode of living Rich Dad Poor Dad. And what of my manifestation is, immediately when I saw that ad, I booked the ticket without even thinking ki mera what kind of my job was there 9 to 5, whether I will get holidays. We have to inform 1 month before that we need a leave or something. I cannot be like very sudden and just go away. I left everything and went. I saw that my dream was coming, so we need to take actions. People just dream but they don't take actions towards it. So when you have a dream, you need to take action. If I would have thought ki okay chalo sir to aa rahe, but I have my job and I will not get my leaves. So kaise, if I had these excuses, I would have not gone and the things will not have turned like what it turned out. So for me, actions is a must. Like if you have a desire, you have an emotion to it, and if you action it, you will manifest things in life very beautifully. Sorry, I am not able to hear you.
So you have explained it very beautifully that you need to have an why, clear clarity of thoughts, then have a strong desire, and they take right action in the right time. So the
Yeah.
manifestation will work. So here I would like to know a little bit more about this framework of EBSI, employee, business, self-employed, and investor. So most of the people who want to earn a lot of money, they actually don't allow their money to work. They actually work very hard, and the money they allow money to sleep in their fixed deposits or maybe in their lockers. So how do you rate these people? That is this possible? And that in your book they can get some guidance that how people should manifest so that they get success by doing less and getting more.
So yes, when you say ESBI, so E stands for employee, S for small businesses like self-employed, and B for businesses, big businesses, and I for investor. So he defines it, left quadrant and right quadrant. So left quadrant will be employee and self-employed, which is small businesses, and right quadrant will be businesses and investors. So when you are an employee, you have a very close mindset, you have a comfort zone because you are getting a paycheck every month, you have holidays, you have Saturday Sundays holidays, you have vacation, you put a leave, you are not in a zone of taking risks, you are at a very comfort zone. So this is the mindset of an employee, and this is the, I think they will pay the highest tax. Highest means, say first highest is, of course, the small businesses who are doctors, lawyers, accountants, but the second one that comes is employees. They pay the second highest tax according to Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I also agree that because I myself was an employee before meeting Robert Kiyosaki. So and when it comes to self-employed, again they are doctors, lawyers, accountants, but they have their own business, but they want to do everything by themselves. So they will not. So they will be like packed, and they will again have a closed mindset that they will not delegate their work. They will not have a team, or they want to do everything by themselves. So again, they don't have that leverage mindset. So again they are paying good taxes. So coming to business, they take business, so they are the ones out of the four quadrants, which is the second least tax they pay. That is like 20% according to Rich Dad Poor Dad, what he's defined. And they are the risk takers. They are the risk takers. Like they hire talent, more talent smarter than them. Not that, okay, uh, people like, who can just do their job, but they hire good talent smarter than them. So that's what makes them different in their mindset. And they are the ones who takes big risk. Like, if I want to give example, Microsoft, Apple companies, like Steve Jobs, these are some big examples. Jeff Bezos. So these are even investor now after, you have good businesses, you come to, there is a higher part of it is investor. They have become an investor now, because since they had a big businesses, so now they have an investor mindset. Is, they acquire assets, lot of assets they acquire. And from that assets, whatever income is generated, they again acquire even more assets to create wealth. And they are the least, I will say, 0% tax they pay. So we should have a direction to go towards that investor. So I think everybody's journey has to be to go towards an investor where you are paying zero tax. So because rich, they, as Robert said, rich don't work for money, money works for them. So that is the best example. He's explained with ESBI. So this is what I have understood from his lessons. Of course, he's explained in depth in the book. So everyone, I think, has to read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. The sooner you read, the better it is for you guys.
Right. So basically, to all the book lovers, the employee mindset is more and more people, maybe 98% of this world population is having either employee or self-employed mindset, and only 2% are basically doing some big businesses or building some big ecosystem or platforms, or a kind of a big billion-dollar club or big billion user club, like company like LinkedIn, Amazon, Google, Alibaba, Microsoft. They all have active billion plus users every day. So every day, billion plus users are actively using their platform, their softwares, their systems, etc. So now, in this connection, what is the role of education system? Because our education system allow us to ekla chalo, matlab do solopreneurship. But why, when you are saying that investor, they bet upon businesses, they bet upon money, they bet upon Bitcoin, new technology, whatever. But why somebody bet upon themselves only? Because generally, employee and self-employed, they don't do betting on any other person. They bet on themselves. So there is a limitation of growth, right? So how your book help the de bottlenecking the growth mindset, the limited mindset to growth mindset.
First of all, Robert sir himself says schools are not the best place of education. So, and I also agree because obviously everybody has been to schools. So they teach us to be the number one. You need to be number one all the time, and you get into that race of being number one. Second thing is they will not talk about money. They will never talk about how money works and the growth mindset, the business mindset we can have. I think now it has started little, but I don't think so it is and proper government guidelines to do it. So I will still against the education system. Third is they will not allow you to make mistakes, because if you make a mistake you will be punished. So this is the three major things which I see. Because school will never teach you money, they will never teach you teamwork, of course. They, because I told you, right, they want you to be number one, they want you to ultimately do a job. They will make you a person where you will be addressed as a status symbol if you have a good job, if you are a doctor, engineer, or a lawyer. Such kind of a mindset they will build across, because the system is such. And so this is one thing. And when you say growth mindset, if you want to go towards the growth mindset, it's you need to find real teachers. So Rich Dad Poor Dad is talking about those things, where his poor dad was a PhD, uh, was into job, a high paying job, government job. And uh, and his rich dad in other way was not with that mindset. It was a growth mindset, business mindset, where he made him do things where his mind will be not a slave for money. They people trade time over money. So that mindset you need to break, and you need to find real teachers. See around you when you are when he's already explained EBSI. So if you can categorize that person, obviously you will find your good teacher, your mentor. So for me also, I had so many people around me, big businessmen, and the people who are doing good in their businesses, but I never felt that rich mindset in them. Although they were rich, but still they were not rich.
Right.
That is what people lack, which I only see in Robert Kiyosaki. When he talks, I feel, oh my god, he's making so much sense to me when he says that people must be highly educated, highly literate, but they lack financial education. They are behind, financially illiterate. Actually, they are. So be it they are very rich, but that wealth mindset, the growth mindset. So he says to invest in your mind. Go to teachers who are doing real things, and you will find out. You will find one, and you need to go towards the right path, and which is going towards the growth mindset, towards the wealth mindset, towards the mind. You need to focus on your things which will keep your mind, uh, at a greater this thing.
Excellent. So now coming to the end of our session, we have a 48-minute session, wonderful session with you. And I would like to summarize the learnings which are already imbibed in your book, which is Gift of Giving. So to all the book readers, Karishma Babulal is an author, a blessed author by a world-renowned author, Mr. Robert Kiyosaki, and she has given her secret recipe of a wealth mindset, a mindset which can open up new doors of success and happiness for you if you implement the formulas and the teachings given in the book. So, law of manifestation, law of gratitude, and very strongly you have to focus on your why, that why you exist, why you should do it, why do this. So, before doing anything, if we can focus upon our whys and wisely, we can get ourselves financially literate. And of course, there is no school for financial entrepreneurial literacy, but we need to find out people around us who can be our mentor, who can be our guide to unlock the success. And thank you very much, Karishma, for joining this Nahar Jito Bookathon. It's the 108 authors, 108 genres, and 108 books. So there are a lot of books on every subject. So stay tuned and register with other authors, and also share your feedback with us, because your feedback is important for us, for the authors, and for the community at large, that reading books is the real authentic source of knowledge. You may have a lot of excess of information online, but whatever written in book, there is no substitute of book. Book are the best friends, and book will remain our best friends. Thank you very much, Karishma, and thank you, Nahar Jito Bookathon, in association with Raisoni Foundation, and the lot of volunteers who are making it happen, who are working tirelessly to record all the authors, connect with them, get the books filtered, and bring it to you all absolutely free of charge. There is no cost involved. It's a free of charge initiative taken by our chairman, Shri Sukharaji Nahar of Nahar Jito Bukathon. So we have a lot of gratitude to all these visionary leaders of our times who have thought that books need to be promoted, author need to be promoted, and the culture of reading good books should be there in every home. So thank you very much to all the visionary leaders and all the volunteers for giving their time. Thank you.
Thank you so much
And
again, Rishabh ji, for picking me. It's because of you I am here. And thank you, Nahar, Jito Bukathon, again, Raisoni Foundation for putting up this recording.
And
And,
a special thanks for Jito Center for Excellence. The team Jito Center for Excellence is working tirelessly for skill to scale, for knowledge and skill development across genres, across age group from 8 years to 80 years. Thank you.
thank you so much. Thank you.